Hello, everybody. My name is Efren Luna with the Cultural Alliance of Long Beach and also with Art, Music, and Culture. Today, I am going to be working on a drawing that eventually is going to turn into a painting. So, I have this nice little picture that I got off the internet. The theme is this little animal called a Russian tortoise. My daughter has one, so I got the inspiration from her pet to paint this one. So let me show you what it looks like. Right, this is an image from the internet that I have, and I'm gonna be copying this. If you're at home and you like to follow along, if you watch this video, after the live ended, you can rewatch it and with playback features and things like that. You can choose. What I recommend is you choose an image of like your favorite, even your pet or any animal you like. Something. Look at the image and see that it's an image that is going to be rather simple. Don't get something that's really complicated. If you need to print it out and cut out the image to blur out the back or the background, that's a good strategy. In this case, I'm just going to copy straight from this picture, and I'll work on the drawing freehand. So bear with me here. I'm also gonna be sharing the video while I do this. So bear with me for a little bit while I do that. All right, let's see. So all you need is a pencil, erasers, and a pencil sharpener comes in really handy. Something you want to have ready because you're gonna be if you're drawing on a canvas like this one. If you're drawing on a canvas like this one, it's very textury, so the lead will get used up pretty fast. All right, so let me just do a couple of shares here in our other. Pages on the Art, Music, and Culture page that I run, and also a couple other local groups. All right. All right, so as soon as I do that, we'll get started. This is a canvas that is a 12 inches by 12 inches. It's pretty much a square. So some not too big, not too small. It's like, it's actually on the smaller side if you want to be technical, but it's pretty good size, 12 by 12. Okay, let me a couple of more other pages to share on, and maybe a couple of groups. So yes, the eraser on the pencils these are regular number 2 pencils, HBs or whatever. It really doesn't matter because we're gonna focus on the painting. We just need something to pretty much go over the outline of the drawing. Let me share in a couple other groups. Let me see. Share in the artist group. Shout out to the Long Beach artist group. If you're an artist in Long Beach, you can join the group. If you're from Long Beach. If you're not from Long Beach, you can watch the group and maybe make comments on the things. But it's designed for the Long Beach people, Long Beach artists, actually. Let me also share this. Let's see, another group. Let's try. So the thing about my videos that are live, it's you can't really fast forward if you're watching live, right? You have to be patient. What's popular on YouTube is the videos that are like drawing and painting, but they are edited and sometimes like fast forward, or the speed is like you know, it's like fast forward so that you can see the but they are, so you can see like really quick. So in my opinion, this is just my opinion, it's kind of like just to make a pleasant video to watch. You know, it's just my opinion. You know, because doing the artwork takes a long time. When you fast forward it like that, that's cool. It's just something nice to watch, but you can't really paint in 10 minutes, right? Or even like a minute, like a fast forward. It's just like a nice little documentary, but something to follow along is not a. Let's see, one more group. Okay, shout out to the South Bay Free Education group. It's a group where you can post educational things and workshops that are free. Shout out to them. I'm also gonna share this on the free resources, right? Free resources. All right, here we go. I'm gonna share it on the shout out to the free resources. Lucy, who runs that wonderful page with a lot of free resources. One more share. Let's see. I should be giving a shout out to everybody's groups who I share this on. Oh yeah, Free Family. Shout out to Sally and the Free SoCal Free Family Fund is a public group. So these are public groups. All right, I'm done with the sharing part. Now let's get to the drawing part. All right, let's get to the drawing part. Okay, so in fact, maybe I can do something so you can see. This may work. There you go. There you go. This is actually a little bit better. A little bit better. Too much glare. I have to turn the light off. Still too much glare, but it's good for the video. So this is my computer/tablet. All right. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna envision like a square, right? So because I have a square here, so what that means is that I'm gonna crop out some of this image, some of the picture, right? So basically, I'm gonna crop out about this much, just enough to get his foot in, and just to cover the back. So that means I'm going to actually, let's see. So I'm trying to visualize my composition. Okay, so nice little square. Let's see. Yep, that's a nice little square. And in fact, it's better if you're able to print the picture, because then you can write sort of like measurements on the picture. I'll show you what I mean. Like for instance, I'll just put this pencil here for reference, right? This is kind of like an estimate of a square. I'll just do this for my visual composition. So if you envision the square, right? See where I put those pencils? All right. Then I'm just thinking about drawing the part inside the frame. So I'm gonna do a quick, so I'm just doing motions. Let's see if you can see that on the video. Maybe not as much. Let me see. See. Yeah, you can see a little bit. You can see a little bit. There you go. You can see a little bit. So, all right. So this line that I'm drawing here, it's gonna be the arm. Right now, it's not like, it's not a. It's not in the shape of an arm. I mean, in the the details, the outline. It's just a motion. And then somewhere right here, I have the head, right? So you probably want to, like, my advice is you want to draw in shapes, right? So, and then you start developing the drawing from there. So this shape right here is going to be the head, and you can erase. In fact, like, erasing is fundamental part of drawing. Let me get a brush to move my erasing leftovers out of the way. So this is going to be the head, and you want to avoid thinking of the details right away. Okay, first you want to work on a composition, which was this part, right? Kind of like figuring out what part of the picture you want to draw. In this case, a picture, because we're not drawing live from a live animal. And start thinking of the shapes, lines, you know, geometry, right? Like angles, all right? Think of shapes, right? So this is kind of like a circle. And if this is my top, I don't know if you can see there on the video. Let me see. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, actually you can see. So if this is my top right here, then that means that the top of the shell does not touch the top of my canvas, right? Because this square represents this square. So I'm kind of enlarging a little bit. And we're measuring as we're drawing, right? So I'm going to leave about this much, all right? And follow this shape. Follow this shape. And then maybe, see, this kind of gets closer to the, it passes the head, and maybe about this much right here. Okay, so that means that I can erase this extra line. You just kind of start adding lines, simple lines. Yes, you can see the lines. So you start adding simple lines and taking your time, right? If you actually want to draw, and then this edge of the tortoise goes right to the edge of the canvas right here. And if you think about this part, it's like the negative space, which is the background, is like a triangle. This part right here is like a triangle. Okay, so this is the shell of the tortoise. In fact, I got to bring it down a little more, because right here is about the same size, and it shouldn't. This should be larger because my dimensions are larger here. Okay, so it's okay to erase. See, what it turns a lot of people off that are learning to draw, or like they don't have confidence or whatever, is they start judging themselves before they even get anything done, and they're like, oh, this doesn't look like it. I can say the same thing about me right now, or about my drawing. This doesn't look like anything, you know, and that's because we started the judgment process before we started the drawing, or before we finished the drawing. Okay, so don't put your judgment aside, and you'll be so satisfied. You know, take your time, be patient. Remember, you're doing this for fun. Nobody's gonna judge you. If yourself is judging, like, that's, you know, like that you're kind of creating like unnecessary harm to your soul right there, in my opinion. You know. So this is the shape. It's kind of like, okay, so I'm kind of like adjusting it as I go. Okay, and this guy, I just want enough of the shape. I just want the drawing to be just inside. Okay, and yes, some folks draw fast and they draw very accurate, and that's okay. It's like good for them, you know. It's drawing is not a competition. Like, I mean, there's competitions for drawing, paintings, and art, and so forth. And I think personally, that's like damaging, you know, because in reality, like, we all have different styles, right? And yes, some folks like realism. Meaning, like, but nowadays, you know, the realism, like that's, we can get realism in a computer, right? Like, kind of like, in my opinion, like that's not necessarily in a novelty anymore. It was novelty, I guess, back in the day before electricity, before tablets, before, you know, all this wonderful, uh, you know, inventions, right? I think right. So I mean, not, I'm not trying to downplay or, you know, or belittle any art style or form. What I'm trying to say is paint, draw what makes you happy, right? That's all I'm saying. Um, and stop judging yourself, your art. It's okay to criticize it, but think about the reason for that criticism. Like, am I criticizing it to become better painter, better drawer, you know, better creatively, you know? You're not competing with yourself, uh, you know. Think about it like that. So anyways, enough of that. Let's get to the drawing. So what I started doing, this drawing is kind of nice, but it's blurry on the shell part. So I have to decide where those lines of the shell go. Okay. And another thing you want to consider is the more you draw a particular object or a subject, the better you become at drawing that. So like this is my first Russian tortoise. So it's like, if I do another one, I'll probably be a little bit better the second time, and so forth. That's just overall, because we start memorizing the shapes. You know, some folks can draw from memory because they've drawn that image 1,000 times, and they can draw without, you know, without like looking at the image. You know, they memorize the shapes. Okay, so there is this shape. It's really blurry back here. See, even though like it's blurry right there, it would help if I was familiar with the actual shapes. Right now I'm just doing my best judgment to kind of like figure out where these shapes go. Okay. Okay, not bad. I can already see myself judging this little part, but I'm gonna fight that urge because it doesn't look like a tortoise. So just keep adding shapes. Okay. Okay, so we'll start speeding up the shapes. Start erasing the lines that seem like, think of the shapes, the lines that seem like they're not part of the shape, you can erase them. The ones that are inside the shape, you can leave them for now. And this little arm is thinner as it gets, like at least from this angle, or the way that the arm is stretched out, it seems thinner as it gets closer to the head, and it seems thicker or round as it curves towards the nails. And I'll be showing you that in a minute. Okay, let me see. So right here we have see something like this. There's the grid technique that's like for more precise drawings, right? But right now we're just, you know, just doing shapes. This is for fun, right? I mean, if we're gonna do that, might as well do a projection, right? And just trace the lines. Basically, all we're doing is coloring, right? There's a lot of artists that do that, and there's no shame in that. You know, that's cool. You know, especially if you're working a commission, somebody wants you to paint something in particular. That's a great way to get that done, not only faster, but more accurately. because that's a commission. This arm is kind of stuck in a little bit, and it's kind of like poking out, so you only see like half of it. So you see like the wider part, and then the nails. The nails kind of there's 4 nails. Pretty, or claws if you nails. I guess it's for people. Claws for animals. No, or this. I guess they're part of the reptile family. All right, and the shape, the bottom part of the shell connects down here. Okay, let's see what that looks like on the picture. Okay, so move this a little bit backwards. Yep. Okay, now I can take my little markers off. There you go. Hello, Derek Coleman. I just saw your comment there. Yeah, so folks are asking, when are we gonna open? And the truth is that we have to take our time with this situation. We're a smaller nonprofit, and we don't have a big budget. And what does that mean? That we don't have the, we don't have the resources to buy all the safety protocols and things like that. So we're kind of going to take our time with that. Make sure that when we do open, it's going to be in the safest way for everybody. So stay tuned. We will open. It's just we're not going to just jump in and not have safety protocols, right? Because there is things you have to do. There are things you have to do that require like certain modifications and so forth. There's several things. I don't want to get into the details of it, but we will open. Just be patient. All right. So the eye, I can see the eye. It's like, first of all, we always want to make circles for the eyes, right? But that's not necessarily true all the time, especially, for any kind of eyeball, animal, people, human. So this eye, the more I'm looking at it, let's see. So I'm trying to shape the head before I get into the detail. There are like 2 little holes for the nostril, somewhere about here. This little bulge is probably the eye that's on the other side of the head. And right above this little 2 nostrils, I actually made them a little bigger. There you go, right here. And then there is this eyeball. Let's see, this is a little dent. And the eye, let me just do the outer part, kind of like where the eyelid is. And inside, there's the black part of the eye. Okay. Then the mouth is right below the nostrils. See, this image is a little bit blurry, and this is where it would help to know your, the animal's structure and physical characteristics. But I'm just doing my best here with this image. I like this image. Maybe this is a little bit, the bottom part of the shell is just probably a little bit bigger. Yeah, and then the shell goes right here towards the nail. So this turtle is actually like, if they were to have a belly, they're kind of belly onto this rock, you know, so they're kind of like dragging their not belly, but the bottom part of the shell. Okay, let me take a quick look at the comments just to send a shout out to the folks who are following. Okay, here we go. Yes, so okay, real quick, here we go. Show comments. Derek says hello. Hello, Derek. All right, got 5 shares. Cool. They're all from me to different. Yep. Perfect. By the way, there's I don't want to be the bearer of bad news. I'm just telling you what's happening. You probably already know there's a new variant of the virus. There's always been new variants, but there's one that the experts say is like really like more contagious, more deadly kind of. They said that before about you know, about another variant. I don't know if it's the same one, but I had a drawing class cancel, like a private, because of safety concerns. So, you know, we have to be careful, take care of yourselves. So that's why like we're taking our time with reopening. And the last thing we want to do is be part of we want to be part of the solution, not the problem. Everyone that's opening, that's okay. I mean, like, it's their choice. They're, you know, they're I'm sure they're doing their best, you know, to comply with safety. Anyway, so stay tuned. We'll be making announcements. I did these little lines because that's like the texture, but I'm gonna reserve those lines for the painting actually, because they're very thin, and when I'm putting them on the shell, it kind of takes away from the drying. All right, so here's the eyeball. There's like this force, or you know, there's this like the forehead right here. Actually goes a little bit more back, and then this round. Okay, so let's do that. Okay, and then let me do the rock that's here, so that it doesn't look like it's floating. Okay, so this is a rock. Let me do the crevices just really quick. In fact, I'll try to copy them. Let's just kind of make my own. But a lot of times you get carried away with making your own, and it takes away from the, you know, from the, it becomes less real, you know, unless you're really familiar with. Okay, so here, and it's not precise, but okay. And then there's a shadow right below the shell, and I'm gonna draw that shadow because that's kind of what gives it the illusion or the effect. See, the head has a shadow as well that goes somewhere right here. Okay. Wait, there's another. Okay, so this part is the shadow. In fact, let me lighten up the arm so the shadow can stand out. This shadow is where the turtle's casting a shadow on the rock, or the tortoise. My daughter keeps on correcting me. It's like, she says, it's not a turtle, it's a tortoise. Okay, so that's the drawing so far. So now I'm just gonna try to add a little bit of shadow where I think the part of the shell that has like darker areas. I'm gonna darken that with the pencil, with the lead of the pencil a little, so that the shapes can start, so the shell can start to take shape. Now this is freehand, so there's when you drawing freehand, there's always going to be room for improvement on the on the drawing. So like, it's a judgment call really. It's like, it's freehand, you're measuring with with your eyeball, but you're also using your pencil to measure and other features. So I guess what I'm saying is, like, there's always room to erase. Like, it's okay to erase, and like, even if you feel like the head is like way too much this way or way too much that way, it's okay. It's okay to erase a lot of it, or a little bit of it. It's not a big deal, as long as you're okay with, like, some folks feel like, hey, I had so much going on that I feel bad for erasing. Don't worry about it. You'll get there, but with a better, better drawing. The top is a little bit dark. There's shadows by where the mouth, right here by the cheek. I don't know what this dark spot is. It's just probably color on the turtle itself, or the tortoise. I feel like the bottom part. Okay, so the nostrils. Okay, so the mouth is like flat in the front, and then it's like a line kind of going down. And then all this is skin that goes back. And then right here there's a shadow from the shell towards the inner part where the head is coming out. All right, let's see what my video looks like. Where is my, here you go. All right, so you can see a little bit of the drawing. Yep, not bad, huh? All right, shout out to Free Resources. They approved my post. Tomaselli likes the video. Let's see if it's this video or something else. Oh yeah, the one on the Long Beach Artist page. Thank you, Tony, for liking our video. So folks been sharing. No, it's just me sharing. Okay. All right. So. All right. So let me get back to the drawing. Let me move this laptop out of the way of my drawing area. I already showed you the picture. If you want to draw what I'm drawing, I just pretty much got an image from Google, to be honest. And it's better if you take your own pictures, because then you can crop out the stuff that you don't need, right? To be honest. And so now okay, great. So now you can see, you already saw my image, my reference, my source, I guess. So now I can start painting this thing, right? Let me see. There's a lot of details on the arm, like right here. Let me see. Oh yeah, there's a lot of details, like, maybe I can draw some of them. Let me see. Okay. So right below the head and the arm, there's this whole part is darker than the shadow, kinda. Now it's interesting because the shell has shapes that are dark, and then there are shapes that are dark because they're shadows. So it's just a combination of what's the shadow, what's the shape of, what's the black shape of the shell. This is actually a little complicated, but we're not going to be bothered by that. We're just going to do our best here, and that's what matters, right? Okay. Let me see. All right, there's a bunch of little circles, and I'm not gonna copy one by one. I'm gonna simplify it and just kind of like try to do like, okay, I'll just draw. They're actually similar patterns as the shell now that I'm looking at it. All right, so I'll try to mimic that as much as possible. So I was just gonna start going crazy and draw little circles, but that's not exactly what they are. Okay. This is all freehand. Like I said, some folks, they use tracing paper, they use projections. It's all good. It's all good. No shame in nothing like that. Cut yourself some slack if you are doing freehand. Just know it's gonna take a little longer, and then and you may have to do a lot of erasing. And like I said, some folks already know how to draw the turtle or tortoise. Okay, this is where I just kind of started repeating the patterns. The more you look at the image, the more like similar to the image it will turn out. This is actually smaller little the pattern gets smaller closer to the body. Okay, so that's one arm. All right, now let's work on the other arm. Wow, so much shapes. What I'm doing, if you have a tablet, you can zoom in to the details. That's kind of what's cool. What's cool about having like a tablet, you can zoom in, right? You can zoom in and kind of get a better view, right? You can get a better view of the details. Okay, but yeah, so that's kind of like the good thing about technology. All right, like you don't really have to print, you don't really have to print an image to work from. You could, if you want to trace it. That's actually a good, like tattoos. The tattoos are made like that. They have a print. You print it out from the computer and put it on tracing paper and start coloring. They're pretty much transferring an image. You can do that with drawings. A lot of people do that, and they don't really tell you, but it's okay. Okay, so like I said, everything is cool. Everything is awesome, right? There we go. I'm digging this little tortoise. Yare, come check this out. I feel like the shell is too small, but I don't know. It may be. that's kind of how it is in the actual. What do you think?
Oh, it looks so cool.
It's not bad, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, so the background's just like branches and things like that. The bottom is like a rock.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of adding shades. The shades to guide me. All right, so I think I'm done, folks. I think I'm done for now. Oh, there's so much. There's like little. The shell has like this little tiny lines that go like this. That go like that. That's like so cool. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that because they're pretty perfect. Nature's pretty like awesome. You know, I'm just gonna do the gestures like, yeah, like. There's like little ridges that follow the shape of the shapes on the shell. I'm just gonna do that real quick. Okay, I'm kind of making things up now. Take a break from this. So that's it, folks. I hope you will. Let me zoom in. Let me zoom in. Okay. Maybe just a little bit. There you go. So this is my my drawing. Hope you guys like it. Make your own. It's freehand. It's okay if it doesn't look exactly like it. We're gonna paint it maybe next time. All right, folks. I'm gonna show you the reference. So what you can do with the reference, you can take a screenshot, because a lot of the Google images, they're copyrighted, right? So when you go to the image itself, it'll have like a watermark that it's gonna be like much more difficult to, I guess, to see, right? It's gonna be much more difficult to see. So you can do a screenshot when you have a good clear view of the image, and that's kind of really helpful. So this is it. I'm gonna show you the actual image. Let me bring my tablet here. Okay, so this is what I have. Let me zoom this a little bit, maybe right there. There's a lot of glare, but you can actually see. You can actually see. So that's my reference. I have it. You know, this was a screenshot from the Google image, because the original had a watermark and it was really hard to copy. Now I'm gonna probably stylize the background and make it my own in that sense. So there's always creative freedom when you copy an image. So I'm not, as you can see, I didn't print the picture. So you can do that when you're an artist, right? You take an image as inspiration. You know, I bet you if I project it, it's not gonna be the same size, right? So it's gonna be slightly different. So that's it, folks. I'm gonna probably paint it next time and start working on that. For now, this is it, folks. Share, rewind the video once I'm done so you can see it. You know, just find inspiration. All right, Efren Luna here with the Cultural Alliance of Long Beach, also with art, music, and culture. And we'll make announcements as to when we will open the gallery. But for now, we're not doing that just now. We're taking our time. We want to make sure our protocols are the best to protect everybody. Stay safe out there with the new variant of the virus, but make sure my advice is get the vaccine if you can. Do your part. Stay safe. And hopefully we'll see you soon, okay? We'll make announcements. Follow this page so you can know what's happening. Take care. Efren Luna, art, music, and culture. and Cultural Alliance of Long Beach.